I've just arrived and I am in Zion, and I am taking a drive about 11 miles in to the Visitor Information Center and speak to the rangers there to plan the next few days. Afterwards I'm staying at a campsite just outside the park. I have electrical hookup, not water or sewer, but that's not a problem. But already awesome scenery, and once again very different to anywhere else that I've been. Hi, welcome to the latest episode of my travels, coming to you this time from Zion National Park in southern Utah. I have just arrived. I've come into the park and I'm making my way to the visitor center. There's a tunnel I need to go through. I had to pay a $15 toll because of the height of my vehicle. To go through, they have to shut down the traffic coming from the opposite direction. So this will be a first for me, paying a toll to go through a tunnel because I have a high vehicle. Crazy views here. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Sure, you know, you've got the reds that we've seen before, but the shapes, the contours is just very different. So yeah, I am at the tunnel, and there are apparently vehicles coming from the other side. There are RVs waiting on the other side for single lane traffic. So it's going to be a bit of a wait, 7 or 8 minutes or so, and then I've got to go down the middle of the road. Okay, here we go. Feels kind of weird driving down the middle of the road. And I'm through. Yay! And the view at the side of the road is just incredible. Right, so I'm on my way back from the visitor center. From there it's 11 miles to the edge of the park, and then about another mile to my campsite. So I'm going to go check in. I have a game plan, more info to come. But in the meantime, these views, oh my god, the views. Unbelievable. If I can find a place to stop on the side of the road, there are places, but normally they're taken up by cars. I will stop and try and get some footage with my camera, with my phone. I've stopped here and climbed. I found a place. Hopefully there'll be more. The majesty and the sheer size of the rock formations here are absolutely unbelievable. Incredibly pretty. I'm so looking forward to it for the next few days. So here I am again, waiting for the tunnel on the way back. But the convoy of cars is coming in the opposite direction right now. And last time, on the way down to the visitor center, when the convoy came through, after that we got moving pretty quickly. So hopefully that'll be the case now as well. Coming up on another tunnel, but this one is wider and taller, so there's no problem. It's also shorter. That last tunnel was 1.1 miles. Hi, so all in all it was a very good day, and I'm at the campsite, and the campsite is actually less than a mile from the entrance to the park. It's not the most luxurious campsite. A lot of people are out. You can see by little markers next to their sites that the site is taken. When you check in, you get a little, you can see that little sticker that's on my electricity box next to the site number there, that thing, and that shows that the site's taken. Most of these sites are taken not because it's the campsite is luxurious or anything, but because you are so close to the entrance to the park. On the other side, the main road is just in front of those buildings there. Main road, it's not such a busy road, it's not a highway, and there's a little restaurant there and a gift shop, but all sorts of things. I would estimate there are about 14 sites here, and there's also a place for tent camping. What is nice though is that you've got a fair distance between the sites, and you have got some separation, which is always good. There's a laundry here, so before I leave I will do laundry, and there is internet, but only in the there's a combination laundry, games room and a shower toilet area. Inside there is internet. I do not have any cell reception here, but it's fine, I'll make do. I finished uploading the last episode to the video to YouTube after I got here this afternoon, settled in. I've got electricity. I have a picnic table next to my site, and behind the camper van there's a fire pit. I have to say that just about every campsite I've been in, I've had a fire pit. I've never used it once. So anyway, all right. Although I have sat at other people's fire pits. Okay, that's it for today. I'm excited for tomorrow. Good morning from Zion National Park. In Zion there are 2 hikes which are iconic, and I'm going to be doing 1.5 of them. We'll deal with the half tomorrow, but the one I'm doing today is called the Narrows. For the Narrows you've got to be specially equipped, which for me means waders and special boots that get into water, can take into water. You wear regular socks and stuff underneath you, they don't get wet at all. So I'm looking forward to doing one of the 2 iconic hikes, and we'll see afterwards what time I finish, and I feel I might do another shorter hike today. So this gear, by the way, I had to rent, and I'm taking just my Camelback water with me, and in this pouch, I'll just get it. I have a zip pouch. I've got a Ziploc bag with my keys and ID and 1 or 2 other little things. So looking forward to a great hike. I've got about a 1 mile walk riverside walk. There's a river just down here, and then I go into water and walk for a couple of miles through water, and then I walk back. Great picture here of the river coming through the canyon. In a little while I will be walking through that water. This is where the pilot starts. I'm really looking forward to this, although it's not quite as warm as I thought it would be. But this is going to be sunshine. We're walking in and out of the water, sometimes in the water, sometimes out, and unfortunately with this camera I cannot zoom in and out, so this is what it is. And of course all the time we got the canyons walls high above us. This is just so cool. It's just totally different to anything I've ever done before. Well, just incredible. I have to remind myself all the time to look up. Just a stunning walk. All of a sudden, the walls of the canyon just turn black, and it's quite a contrast at the end there with the light. I think I'm going to go into a bit of sunshine there. It's a real pity that I can't zoom with this camera. All of a sudden you get this crazy overhang. I don't know if it comes through on the video, but this ceiling part here is like going in to a room. Not a room, but it goes well into the cliff. There's a massive overhang. This is just, I know I've said this a lot, but this is just so different to any other hike that I've done. I've come from there, which is pretty dark, and I've come along the river already. You can see how the colour of the rocks is changing. The whole atmosphere seems to be changing as we head towards an area that is lit by the sun. This is going to be my turning point. Turn around and head back. You can carry on this route for days, so you've got to choose a point somewhere, and if I head back now I'll be able to do another hike later on. I must say, going out is a lot easier than coming in, especially the parts where I have to walk through water, because I'm now sort of going against the flow. The water is shallow, but the current is strong. I'm also pleased that I came early because there are now lots more people here. The light going out here of the rocks face is very different to what it was like when I was coming in. Yo, that hike was insane. I enjoyed it so much. It was such fun and so different. I'm back in the camper. I'm making lunch, roast beef sandwiches and something hot to drink. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about with, not worried about, with the hike, with the video, is that because it was through water and all that, I didn't want to risk taking my phone. So I took my GoPro Imitation. This is normally the camera that's attached to my my rear view mirror, and the sound on it is not great, and at the moment the way I'm using it, it's in a waterproof casing, so the sound will probably be less good. So I hope the video turns out okay, otherwise I'll be doing a lot of subtitling. Anyway, I'm gonna have something to eat and then have lunch and then figure out what I'm gonna do this afternoon. Gonna do a short 2 mile, I think it's 2 mile hike this afternoon. And I've got to go and return the wader and boots and stick that I rented. And I've got to get back through the tunnel, because the last time that they'll let RVs through is 6 p.m. So I've got to do that before then. Now, in Zion, the road that goes to all the start of all the trails is there's just so many people here that you can't go by private car. They have free shuttle buses, which I'm about to take. I've decided that instead of the 2 mile trail, which is in and out coming back on the same route, I'm doing a slightly longer 3 mile loop trail, so I won't come back on the same way that I went in. So this trail is called the Emerald Pools Trail, so I hope it'll be good. I don't know much about it apart from the fact that it's 3 miles and it's not supposed to be too strenuous. Even if it is a little bit strenuous, it's fine. The hike this morning was not difficult by any means, so yeah, hopefully it'll be a great hike. Starting off by crossing a river on a bridge this time. This is downstream, but it's the same river that I hiked in this morning, just further up the valley. At the moment the trail's going on a little bit above the river. For the most part I'm in the shade, which is nice because it's not this, it's almost the peak of the heat of the day, and it's supposed to be 25 degrees, so it's quite nice to be in the shade. There's the river, well, you can't really make it out down below, and the cliffs on the opposite side there. So all in all, makes for a really great hike, and as you can see behind me, it's a nice path, not clambering over rocks or anything like that, at least not yet. So, great second hike. So the photography is a little bit tricky, but you've got water coming over the top here and running down into the pool down there. The colors here with the fall leaves, etc., and the ledge, the red, very, very pretty. It's a better view. The water coming down there and into the pool. Not sure where the name Emerald comes from. That looks pretty murky to me, but it is. Essentially we're in the desert. We've got this rain. I'm now walking behind the waterfall, and there's another little one here, but it's very pretty. Another view here. The waterfall. We walk behind it, then climb up there. Some climbing here, but not too much. Really unusual. Being able, I mean, they're not great. It's not Niagara Falls. But the fact that you can walk behind it and look down the stream, very pretty. Another little waterfall here in the desert. As I said earlier, I said before, water in the desert is really cool. Doesn't have to be Niagara Falls, even this little trickle here is great. And check out this view ahead of me. Just awesome. Wow. Tomorrow, all being well, I'm going to be hiking up there. Looking down on the river here, flowing through the valley, and always being towered over by the mountains. Here I am back at the river, just upstream from where I crossed it last time. From here on, I think I've done about 2/3 to 3/4 of the hike. From here on, I'm walking more or less next to the river, back to where I started. Coming to the end of the hike. This is a really nice second hike for today. There were a few uphills and downhills. I climbed a total of, I think it was 600 feet, just over 600 feet. Not in one go, but cumulatively. So it's good exercise, just under 3 miles. Then we go and return the equipment that I rented for the Narrows, and then I'll head back. After I go through the tunnel, there's another short hike of 1 mile that I'd like to do, but there's very limited parking there, and that will so depend on whether or not I can get I can find a place to park. There was no parking available at the trailhead of the little hike I wanted to do, and in any case I saw a sign that said that all the parking that was there was for small vehicles only, and I don't think I qualify, so I won't be able to do that hike. It's now about 4 p.m. I'm just going to head back to I'm on my way back to the RV, the campsite, and I will have a cup of coffee and I will edit today's videos and then just take it easy. Meanwhile, we've got another little tunnel to go through, but this is the short one. So that's pretty much it for today, and tomorrow should be a big day, so I'm looking forward to it. Good morning. It's going to be 27 degrees here today, but at the moment it is chilly. So yesterday I said that there are 2 iconic hikes. One of them was the Narrows, which I did yesterday, and the second one I've just started on. I'm not doing the whole thing. It's called Angel's Landing. I'm going as far as maybe a little bit further. The Scouts Lookout. I'm not going to do the last half mile or so, because that part, well, you'll see why when I get there. But this is probably going to be the most strenuous hike I've done so far, because we're climbing all the way up there. We're going up to the top. It is a 1,500 foot climb. Supposedly there and back is about 4 hours. We shall see. I might take a little longer than that. So So far the climb has been slow but steady. I've been walking for about 20-25 minutes, something like that. As you can see, the view behind me is quite steady. But this is where it starts to get tough. Take a look at that wall there. You can see there are people climbing it. Let me see if I can catch him. There we go. There. And the path just goes backwards and forwards all the way up. See more people there. Up to the top. The engineer who designed this, his first name is Walter, and these are known as Walter's Wiggles, which is kind of a humorous name. I don't think it's going to be funny. I'm just going to take it very slowly. You can see the switchback's a lot better from here. I'm about a third of the way, and see all the way down into the valley there and across the other side. There's the river I was in down below, although there was more upstream. So I'm finished with the first set of Walter's Wiggles, and for a couple of minutes on an area that's more or less level, and then there's another set. Selfie, sorry. Don't worry, I'll get you behind.
Oh, okay.
And climbed 1,000 feet, so more or less 500 to go. If you look ahead, it's still pretty steep, so we shall see. The climb has continued. I'm now almost 1,400 feet up. You can actually see the end up top here. That's it. Whoops. There. It's about 100 feet to go. We've been coming up between these two canyon walls. Pretty neat view down the canyon. I wasn't sure before I decided to do this hike that I should do it, but having done 1,400 feet out of the 1,500, I'm pleased I did. So I've reached the summit, and now I'm going to explain why. I'm at a point called Scout Observation. The trail actually carries on to a site called Angel's Landing. That is the trail going up the landing.
Going down was way easier. Yeah, it also helps.
It goes up there, and in certain places it gets onto the top there. The top is the landing. It's called Angel's Landing because the guy who discovered it said only angels could land there. The reason I don't do it is at certain places you've got to hold on to a chain. And on the one side the drop is 1,000 feet, and on the other side it's 1,200 feet. Good. A canyon on either side of it. And those kind of heights, well, any heights basically, are not for me. This where I am now is just fine. Also, certain places on the trail there, you have people going up and coming down on the same side of the chain that you hold on to. And some people actually have to let go to get past it. That's just not for me. Get a great view from here of the people going up to Angel's Landing. And I think that point over there is where you have that precipice on both sides before you get up to the top. So that is definitely not for me. So I've gone past that point where I showed you the final stage to Angel's Landing. I'm now at about 1,800 feet elevation. The scenery around here, morning, is just stunning. Tremendous views without the insane danger of that drop-off. So I'm going to carry on a little bit further. I've done nearly 2.5 miles. I'll do a little bit more and then I'll start heading back. I head back the same way that I came out here. So the good part though is it's all downhill, almost all. Okay, I think that's it for me. I have climbed 2,000 feet. I've been walking for an hour and a half and I have done 2.5 miles, 4 kilometers. So now it's time for me to start heading down. I'll go down the same way. But before I do, I just want to give you one last panoramic view from up here, because whichever direction you look, the view is insane. Got a deep valley down below, just past that point there. Check those climbers down there. And there, in the distance, you can see people heading up towards Angel's Landing. So just to show you, this is the one set of wiggles going down. These ones are actually pretty short in length before you switch back. The second set is actually longer. Good for the knees. Actually not really. I must say, going down the wiggles is a lot easier than going up. Mainly because you got gravity on your side. On a related note, the hiking and going down and up, having the hiking poles really helps. Going down, you wouldn't think so, you'd need them going down, but it just takes a lot of the pressure off your knees in terms of braking. So one of the better investments I made before I started this trip. I'm also really happy that I'm doing this hike in the morning, because going up and now going down was in the shade, and it's not brutally hot, but it is going to be warm today. When the sun hits this, especially going up, it can be unpleasant, I think. I wouldn't enjoy doing this in summer, in the heat of summer. I'm about to start the second set of wiggles, which will take me ultimately down there to the path. Keep it all the way through there. What an awesome hike. Just good. As you can see, a lot of people doing this hike, so it's really busy. Here we go, the second set of wiggles, going all the way down into the valley. Good for the knees. So I'm done with the squiggles. I survived, my knees are fine. Just what an awesome hike. I've still got a way to go, but now it's gentle downhill and then flat. There are some people whose sport is running outdoor trails. Personally, I think they're nuts, but good for them. So the scenery is changing again. Once more, we're down, almost down in the valley floor. And it's still pretty. It's beautiful. It's just not the spectacular scenery we had from higher up. Mountains are still spectacular. But just when you're high up, you really have a different perspective. By the way, I was up there, you can see the people coming down. So, call me crazy, but the camper van's right here, but I'm not going on it, because even though that was a fairly strenuous hike that I did, this is my last day at Zion. I leave tomorrow morning and I really want to make the most of it. It's only early afternoon, so I'm doing another trail called the Watchman. 3.1 miles, getting away from the green, a little bit to get away from the greenery of the river and the canyon floor, and you'll see more of a desert environment. Excuse me. So already, if you look ahead, you can see that it's kind of changing. It's not quite as green as it was. Still good views and everything, but definitely different. Climbing a little bit, heading away from the river into this kind of, we're going into this kind of like side canyon ahead here. Anyway, I must say it's pretty warm. The day started out chilly. It's supposed to be around 26, 27 maximum today, and the time is now 1:45 p.m. so I would imagine we're pretty close to the maximum. Definitely gone from the green vegetation to this desert surround type brush with a few green trees, but not much. I've done almost 1 mile. I've come all the way along this trail here from and beyond. It's warm, and the fact that I'm about to encounter more twists and turns to climb doesn't really thrill me, but it's okay. The only thing that's a little annoying, I've got a family arguing ahead of me. The family decided to give it up as a lost cause. That's them heading back now, so it's a lot quieter. You can see where I've come from. That is the car park over there. And that third vehicle in the line from the front there, it's the third from the, there's a row of 5 parallel parked. The middle one's mine. So I'm at the top. What? The view down into the valley there's one more little loop, sweetie. Is insane. Just up here. That's awesome.
Nothing big.
Down into the valley here. That road down there, that's a road leading to that one there, to the hikes we did this morning. And I believe that up there there, that one is where I was, and that one there is Angel's Landing. So that like saddle in between, it's about half a mile, and that's where those crazy chains are that you got to hold on to for dear life. I'm really pleased I didn't do it. The views I got were great, the views here are great. It's enough. Okay, so there's a little loop here, not too long, and then I head back down. I am almost back in civilization. Civilization in this case being the RV parking lot at the Visit in Zion National Park. It was a great second hike for the day, and it was also a great way to finish 3 amazing days in this incredible park. It's mid-afternoon. I'm gonna head back to the RV camp, do some laundry, put together this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed the other episodes as well. And tomorrow and the next day are pretty much going to be travel days, so it's probably going to be a little while before I put out another video. So all the best, and see you soon.